Thanks for checking it out. My name is Jake Miklo, first degree black belt at GFTeam Pittsburgh, true believer. This is Jeremy, and today I'm going to show you how to properly pull guard. So, especially at the beginning of Jiu-Jitsu, if we come from a background like I came from, which was no wrestling, and my first experience with grappling was Jiu-Jitsu. At the beginning when we would spar, the takedowns were very difficult for me. So, very quickly I learned that we have the second option of pulling guard. Okay? It's one of the things that makes our martial art unique in grappling. The problem is, especially if you're tall like me, to go from here to seated feels like a long way. A lot of times what I see is we make our grips, what I see by my white belts, and they understand that they can't just sit down, right? Because if I just sit down here, Jeremy's just gonna run around me and pass my guard. So they understand to some extent that they can't sit down. So what they end up trying to do is putting their foot on the hip, on the sleeve side that they're holding, and sitting from here. But man, this is really awkward. Right? Especially if you're tall. I'm 6'2". This feels like 8'2" from up here. Like in my head, I feel like I'm gonna have to go a really far away. So to work on this, what I need to do is I actually need to bring my butt closer to the mat and think of my leg as coming up to intersect. So I'm not moving it here to block. I'm coming it up to intersect. Okay? So the way to drill this very easily is you're just gonna take a couple steps backwards. And every step backwards you take, you're gonna lower your level. So I take a step backwards and lower, take a step backwards and lower, and here I feel comfortable to sit down and intersect with my leg. So the other thing about the guard pull, once I'm in a comfortable spot on the ground, is that I need to do this aggressively. We have to remember that, or at least think, the guard pull is not a concession. I'm making you deal with my guard. So at the very beginning, it can be hard to understand like which techniques you want to chain into right off of your guard pull. So I'm going to show you an easy one where we're going to go right to the guard pull, into the De La Riva, and just work standing up on a single leg, right? If it doesn't go wrong, at least I'm doing, right? I always want to be the person doing. So the two things that I'm gonna say now, and I hope it stays in your head, is you need to pull aggressively. The more I can pull the guy onto my foot so that his feet can leave the ground, that gives me a second where he can't do anything, and I'm able to start work. So everything's gonna be the same. I'm gonna lower my level, put my foot to his hip, and sit down. I lower my level, foot goes to his hip. As you can see, I pulled him a little bit. He got a little bit off balance. Now, in this position here, I'm gonna keep holding this sleeve, and I'm gonna open my leg as wide as I can. I'm gonna pendulum back into my De La Riva, stretch and sit up, and pass this sleeve to my other hand. The sleeve I've been holding since the beginning. That's why we're drilling this as one move. So you can pull guard, score your 2 points, and get on top. Once I have his sleeve firmly in both hands, I'm gonna reach up, grab his collar, connect my elbow to my hip, and fall onto my shoulder. Once I fall onto my shoulder, I drop my knees, collect his head, and secure the position. So that's a way you can pull guard aggressively and enter right into an attack. That's the important thing to remember from this video. Guard pulling is not a concession. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, keep checking back. We're gonna keep throwing these videos out. If there's something you'd like to see, if you have a question, shoot it in the comments. And if you're ever in Pittsburgh, come check us out.